Hello, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to talk about an essential concept in the financial world, risk-weighted assets, known by their acronym in English, RWA. Understanding RWA is essential to understanding how banks manage risks and maintain their financial stability. What is RWA? Risk-weighted assets is a methodology used by financial institutions to assess the risk of their assets and calculate the capital needed to ensure their solvency. The concept emerged as a response to the challenge of measuring the risk of different types of assets, allowing each asset to receive a specific risk weight according to its exposure. Why is RWA important? RWAs are essential to determine a bank's capital adequacy ratio. This ratio indicates whether the institution has sufficient capital to withstand unexpected losses and continue operating without putting its customers' deposits at risk. Basically, RWA helps ensure that banks maintain an adequate capital base to weather crises and avoid insolvency. How is RWA calculated? RWAs are calculated by considering the specific risk of each type of financial asset, such as loans, investments, and bonds. For example, riskier assets, such as unsecured small business loans, will be weighted more heavily than less risky assets, such as government bonds. This allows for a more accurate calculation of capital requirements for each bank, based on its asset portfolio. RWA and the Basel Accord. The calculation of RWAs is directly related to the Basel Accord. This accord was created by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision to establish global standards for banking regulation. Over the years, there have been three main versions: Basel I, Basel II, and Basel III. Basel I, introduced in 1988, it established for the first time the minimum capital requirement for banks, based on the calculation of RWAs. Basel II, introduced to refine risk calculation, considering more complex factors and expanding banking supervision. Basel III, it emerged after the 2008 subprime crisis and aimed to strengthen banking regulation, increasing capital requirements and creating additional protection mechanisms against financial crises. Basel III recommends that banks maintain a minimum capital equivalent to 8% of their RWAs. In Brazil, this requirement is 11%, following regulations from the Central Bank, Basin, and the National Monetary Council, CMN. How is RWA applied in Brazil? In Brazil, the calculation of RWAs follows the guidelines established by the Central Bank, which adhered to the Basel Agreement in 1994. CMN Resolution 4193, for example, determines that financial institutions maintain capital compatible with the risk of their operations. This means that banks need to adapt to a capital level that is proportional to the total risk of their asset portfolio. Risk-weighted assets are a crucial risk management tool for financial institutions. They ensure that banks maintain a solid capital base, prepared to face crises and protect their customers. If you like this content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your questions in the comments. See you in the next video. Follow us on Instagram at BusinessGreenBR.